Yeah, we're going to go with the chivalric code. I think that makes no sense. You're saying get industry and Corone. So we replace this with industry. Actually, farms themselves don't provide growth. It's only the windmill. I mean, I'm not averse to that. So we could just get the clay pit here, and then I guess industry. So wasn't it 2 slots we had? 2 for those 2. Smithy. And then 2 industry. So Corone itself doesn't recruit any troops. We'll be relying entirely on Languil for that. No, we were going to get the stables here. We may as well build the stables then. And then we can replace this with the clay pit. So we have some trade goods. I think that probably makes the most sense. Hufdigadi, Salusisaidugu, sorry about the pronunciation. Wild Blunt and Elsozuk, thank you very much for the follows, I appreciate that. Alright, that'll do. Enter. Oh, I can issue a command. Right, what are the options? We can get Venerate the Lady, which is more control and also reduction in vampiric and chaos corruption. We can get Realm of Chivalry, which is construction cost and research rate. We can get Levy Tithes, which is more money. Extensive patrols, recruitment cost reduction and recruitment capacity increased. Or Peasants' Duty. You know what? I'm actually going to go for the Peasants' Duty because we want Corone to grow. And we want it to grow quickly. I think that makes sense. Now, where is Mousillon? Mousillon's down there. So Lyonesse and Artois are kind of in its way. And this is another thing I'm excited about this is going to be the first time I'm even seeing the Wood Elves. Because the Wood Elves are in here, I want to say. Because actually the Wood Elves and Bretonnia have excellent relations in Warhammer lore. Because the Wood Elves are basically contained within Bretonnia, they have really good relations. They're very often allied. And I think that Bretonians have special rules about Wood Elf mercenaries. At least they used to. I don't know if that's still true. I'm talking a couple of editions back here. But that was certainly true back then. Yeah, I am definitely repressing the peasants. Absolutely. So Ulberich actually starts at sea. You saw the little boat going into Bordelot there. I think that is Duke Ulberich. Which is interesting. Like, why would he start at sea?
The peasants of Bretonnia are the workforce of our farms and mills. Enlisting too many to bolster your forces will come at a cost to your farming income.
A green-skinned and unpleasant land. Your people live in fear, for evil stalks fair Bretonnia. The greenskins that infest the mountains and forests harass and raid the surrounding villages with ever greater violence. Now they mass in the hills. Start that again. I said halls. Now they mass in the hills, and the people fear a greater incursion. Control is decreasing across the land as a result. Hold out, if you think the kingdom robust enough, in the hope that they tire and skulk back to their hideouts, or lead a force to destroy their settlements and end the attacks and wipe them out for good. The insidious, sickening greenskins are coming. -20 control in all provinces. So that's basically simulating greenskin incursions, because as you lose control, so public order, you get rebellions. Those rebellions are orcs. Their relations are so excellent they start at war with the Fey Lady. Okay, clearly the Wood Elves have changed a little bit. Alright, so I think we are just going to launch an attack straight on Grogzin. We have a pretty strong army, we have loads of archers, and spoilers, I won this fight even without the extra armies that I recruited, though it was a close fight. So we're just going to go ahead.
Ride to glory!
You're saying that there is basically no chance we're going to win this because there is a hero here with an army, plus also a garrison with additional troops. So this is going to be a fairly tough fight, but this is really going to put our Bretonnian forces to test. So we have 2 men-at-arms, 2 spears, 4 archers. Those archers are going to be integral to beat off enemy archers. Well, actually, archers aren't so much of a problem anymore because I have loads of cavalry. Plus we have really long-ranged artillery. So it's going to be good. Alright, we're fighting in the snow. We have the Pegasus Knights over there. I think for Bretonnia we actually want wide open spaces so that our cavalry can be most effective. So I think we're going to like form up over here and then try and use this open plain in this area.
Field trebuchet!
So maybe set the trebs up here. And archers
Peasant bowmen!
here. Maybe a little thicker than that. Something like this. Oh man. Look at the range of this compared to javelins which shoot up to about here. Oh.
Knight of Bretonnia!
And we'll put the men-at-arms here in the centre. And then the spear on the flanks
Armed and ready!
to counter any counter-cavalry charges. Although honestly I'd be kind of surprised if I don't intercept any of their cavalry first. And then we'll have our own cavalry over here in the centre. I might actually stick the Knights Errant over on the far flank and see if we can get a flanking attack hidden in the forest. And then we've got the King of Bretonnia, which we're going to leave over here with the peasants so that he can command them and make sure they have loads of leadership. Because the knights themselves should be just fine operating on their own. And I think I'm going to put the Pegasus here in the centre and we'll see what shenanigans we can get up to. Right, let's have a look at what the enemy is deployed. So our trebuchets are in range of most of the line, which is going to probably provoke the orcs into attacking us. What's the most dangerous? Orc boys, maybe? Do they have any big guns? No, just orcs. So, in that case, I'm going to tell you just to bombard some of the orcs. That sounds entirely reasonable. The Knights Errant. I want you hiding in this forest. And then Pegasus, I'm actually going to send you out further on the flank because I'm going to try and take out their Doom Diver, which is over here on the flank. So he'll be nicely exposed. Especially if the orcs are coming in close, which they are. So let's have a look at how the catapults look. Fire! These things have big explosions. Like they're basically throwing chunks across the wall. Oh yeah, trebuchets often overfire. So we're going to tell them to aim at the archers here because they tend to overfire.
Knights Errant!
Just going to charge them. Let's have the attack. So straight up, we're just charging their cavalry. Surprise attack out the woods. Here we go. Lances down. You can see the damage that we've already done to their unit versus their retake. Bretonnian cavalry is insane. Alright, so you guys haven't even moved yet. I think I want to turn you kind of over to the side like that. You guys are doing well over there, and then you can just, yeah, go ahead and charge them. Trebuchets are shooting at them. I kind of want you to shoot at this, and then hopefully we can hit some of these other units there in the back. Archers will be in range soon. Right, the Knights Errant have done their job. We're going to have you attacking them. We're going to have you attacking them. You're doing a job in Doom Divers, so our cavalry is already harassing our rear lines, which is excellent, and now the archers are going to open fire. Oh crap, I've forgotten. Bretonnians, just like I was talking about with the archers having the arrowhead formation, unfortunately they don't have that modelled in the game. There is also a cavalry equivalent called the lancehead formation, and it does the same thing. So usually only units that are actually touching the enemy get to fight in the tabletop version. They have the lancehead, which means anyone on the edge of the lance, even if they're not directly touching the enemy, also engage in the fight. It's basically to simulate them charging through an enemy formation. Bretonnians get a special ability which simulates that. So we get the lance formation, which is a 50% acceleration increase, a 50% deceleration increase, 24% charge speed increase, 36% charge bonus, a reduction in overall speed, and then a reduction to missile resistance. So long as we're not being targeted by enemy archers, then that can be extremely potent. Yeah, don't forget the formation they have. Just talking about that. So we're going to move these guys up. Actually, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and invoke your formations, because I'm hoping that the archers are going to be a little bit busy with these guys. Enough. You are killing them.
What do you feed?
Let's back you off a bit.
What do you feed?
Charging into spear. Go for it.
Attack!
I'm never going to get tired of that. Alright, so charge bonus was good. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to pull you back. I'm going to pull you back. Archers are doing their thing. You can go ahead and charge their boss man. You guys can hold that position. That is fine. You guys, back off, back off, back off.
Awaiting orders!
Let's bring you in to charge those guys. How are the cavalry doing? Let's get the charges in. Before I forget all of that.
Men of Bretonnia! Yes!
We're fighting. You guys are firing. That's good. We might get the trebs between their archers. Ooh. You guys are getting kind of pounded there. So let's pull you back. Knights Errant are doing a great job. And already my peasants are fleeing. Of course they are. Bloody peasants, you just can't trust them, can you? Didn't know orcs could fly. When they're fighting Bretonnia, they can. Alright, Pegasus warriors, let's bring you up. You guys are going to charge these guys in the rear. That's fantastic. Take them off. Good. Alright, cavalry. Another charge. Another charge. Louen Leoncour is in fight, so let's do the shield ability. That's magic resistance, missile resistance. Okay, it's not as potent as I'd hoped. Not a problem. You guys have annihilated that unit. Excellent. Let's bring you to charge against them. Let's have you charge against them. You're pounding into those. You're pounding into those. We killed their general, which is awesome, but my front line is beginning to break. So we really need to finish off the orc units on the side. However, the chance of victory has massively increased. We've killed 600 of them. They've killed 200 of us. And most of those are going to be peasants, and they don't matter anyway. They're peasants. So, Knights Errant, I'm going to have you charging into the rear of these units and see if we can just break them. They will break you. Oh, another flying orc incident. Lovely, lovely. Pull you back. You guys, pull you back. Are you the Knights of the... You're the Grail Knights. How the hell are the Grail Knights taking so much damage? I mean, that's actually kind of bad. Charge into them. Go for it. Those goblins are like, oh, bollocks. They saw us. Let's have you charge them. You charge them. I do need to keep an eye on Louen Leoncour because he's kind of holding this line together. Archers are doing a good job of peppering those guys. Thankfully, Knights Errant. Let's have you charge into them. Charge into them.
Sons of Bretonnia!
These Grail Knights are getting beaten up. They're supposed to be my most resistant unit. Oh, you're back in the fight. Good. You guys aren't.
Knights of the realm!
Back a bit. That's fine. Alright, let's just do a little bit of clearing, shall we? Nearest. You go ahead and chase them. No, chase them, and then them. You guys can go after them. You can go after them. You can also go after them. You guys go after them. You lot. Them. Pegasus. Keep doing what you're doing, honestly. And then I'm going to tell you guys to stop shooting. Archers. I'm just going to surge forward to the archers and see if we can actually catch something with them. Off we go! Bretonnia Airways, our service is going to knock your socks off. That's brilliant.
Spare man at arms!
Alright. One thing we can do now is turn off lance formation so they can actually catch the enemies that they're going after. Because remember, lance formation reduces their speed. I told you lot to stop. Oh, it's fine. We'll let the Trebs have some fun. Anyway, that was a fairly easy victory for us. 1,600 defeated. We lost about 300. Objake, Adam Polf, Sidiv, Zidane Game, Taser, thank you very much for the follows, I appreciate that. This is such a different experience from other ones. It's nice having this really interesting balance between cavalry and infantry armies. I mean, admittedly, the Bretonnian infantry suck. The knights are amazing. As you've seen, like, the knights did the bulk of the heavy lifting there, and that will show through with the number of kills that they got at the end.
What do you need? Pegasus Knights!
But, yeah.
We fight for Bretonnia! Death on the unbelievers!
Still amazed that my Grail Knights took such a beating.
The lady!
You guys are supposed to be the toughest unit in the military. What happened? I do like how their lances are glowing.
These stinks!
Grail Knights versus Goblins. That was only ever going to go one way. Anyway, that'll do. It's a town battle. So except for experience, it doesn't really earn us anything. So, Grail Knights, 97 kills. That's kind of disappointing. Knights of the Realm, 163. Knights Errant, 165. Knights Errant, 191. Pegasus Knights, 89. Trebs, 55-ish each. Spearmen did naff all. One unit of Men-at-Arms did okay. The Archers didn't do as well as I'd expected. And then Leon got 31, but I kind of forgot about him in large moments. So we lost 293, they lost just over 1,000. And that is how Bretonnia fight. That was a fairly classic Bretonnian battle, actually. Did they get maybe swamped by infantry? Because Grail Knights are not good against infantry. Grail Knights should be good against everything. I mean, then, not anti-armor, admittedly. Okay, so we can sack this for 3,000. This will cost us 30 chivalry, however. Or we can just raise it, which will earn us 30 chivalry. So what I'm thinking is we sack it, which will drop us to negative chivalry, and then next time we come back and just raise it then. So this is going to reduce our chivalry, and he's going to tell us off for it. Oh, we got the Sword of Might for Leon. Excellent. And he has in fact got it up, so let's have a look at his skill tree. So his special is he starts with the Knight's Vow, the Questing Vow, and the Grail Vow. These mean that upkeep is greatly reduced for knightly units. So for the Knight's Vow, it's Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, and Pegasus Knights. For the Questing Vow, it's Questing Knights, and then the Grail Vow. It's Grail Knights, Grail Guardians. Oh, excuse me. Royal Pegasus and Royal Hippogriffs. I think we're going to go with Route Marcher just because that's a pretty strong standard opener, and I want the extra movement. And otherwise, his abilities are fairly typical. Although he has a lot of abilities up here. So the Sword of Crone, level 9. Royal Pegasus, a level 9. Bocris, his Hippogriff. Oh man, he's so strong when he's got Bocris. Which is at level 15. Crown of Bretonnia, level 5, which is more leadership for his entire army. Crown of the Champion. Replenishes hit points of... Wait, what? So great must the King's stature be that when battle is joined, it is always with the Lady's blessing. Passive ability, the Lady's Champion. So long as... augments self. Oh, it always improves his own hit points. So he's constantly regenerating. This gives him regeneration. Wow. Army of the King, casualty replenishment is plus 8% for knight units. That's awesome. Beloved Son of Bretonnia gives him a map-wide bonus to melee attack, weapon damage, charge bonus, and makes them immune to psychology. Affects all allies in range. Effect range, map-wide. So everyone in the entire army, so long as they have more than 50% leadership, gets those massive bonuses. Interesting. So what level? 12. Lady's Mantle at level 8 gives you missile resistance, and then the Lion's Shield gives you a 50% cooldown on the Lion's Shield. Yeah, Route Marcher, obviously. I'm just looking at the other options just to see what they are. Right, let's take a look at those Grail Knights. Anti-large. Knights of the Realm, anti-large. So the Knight Errant's the anti-infantry. Is that why they got so many kills against the infantry then? I mean, does that actually give them a bonus? Anti-large units have an advantage against targets that are at least as large as a horse. This advantage can be a damage bonus against large targets or an attack that focuses on a very small area. However, some units are simply better against large targets because their attacks are slow and easy to dodge by skilled melee combatants. Versus the Knight Errant. Anti-infantry units have an advantage against targets that are smaller than a horse. This advantage can be a damage bonus against smaller targets, superior weight used to smash through lighter enemies, or an explosive attack from range that affects a large area. Oh, you see, that's the base upkeep. So if they don't have the Knightly Vow, then they cost even more. Okay. I mean, obviously they cost more, but it's not so much bringing the cost down, rather than not having it cost more, go up. Okay, cool. So... trying to see exactly why they did so badly. Armor is the same, leadership is higher, melee attack is higher, melee defense is higher. See, with the melee defense is what I expected them to be a lot better at. But Grail Knights just have this massive charge. 82 charge bonus. Okay, fair enough. I'll just bear in mind the Grail Knights are really an anti-cavalry unit rather than an anti-infantry. Though I think the Knights of the Realm can basically be used against anything, though they are specifically anti-large. It's interesting the Knights Errant are anti-infantry. I wonder if the Questing Knights will be anti-infantry. And you were saying that the Grail Guardians are anti-infantry. They are. Interesting. They don't have a very good charge bonus. Okay, so Grail Guardians are not lance cavalry. They are shock cavalry. Unlike the Grail Knights, which are definitely charge. Okay. I think I'd probably like
strength
Grail
and
Knights.
honor.
Right, so if you stay there today, that's fine. We have a chivalry of -15, which means leadership -10 in all armies, control -5 in all provinces. What is the control here? -28. -20 because of events. Right, so be it. Let's end the first turn. Theoden, King. Thank you very much for the follow. Oh, I could have built something else in Corone because we just made a bunch of money. Oh well. So you've recruited another army. It's not going to save you. So we're just going to go ahead and raise them.
Hold true!
Auto-resolve because they're not decisive. Loot gain. We got another 500 gold. Really? Just for nothing. Boom! Regiment of Renown unlocked. The elite of Montfort's lowborn saddled castle defenders often sent out to harass besiegers with their obnoxious arrows. The skull smashers have been destroyed. And we got another level. So because Louen Leoncour has such a great aura, I think I'm going to make him a battlefield general rather than a combat general. So we're going to increase your inspiring presence, so that your character leadership aura does it even more. Next up, I think we're going to retreat back to Corone. We're going to replenish our army and then we'll go after Marienburg, I think. I'm a little bit cautious about going after Marienburg because I know they have a big garrison, and I also see that they have a hero.
Not likely.
Emil von Corden. The other thing I can do is start trading with
Relations with foreign powers may be managed through diplomacy, my lord. Consider your situation carefully before accepting any agreement.
So we'll trade deal with you.
Welcome, friends. Let's hope we can come to an accommodation.
And with you.
Be still, Sylvain. Let them speak.
Because I'm just going to try and diplomatically confederate everyone, as I did
Welcome,
previously.
friends. Let's hope we come to an accommodation.
You guys go
Welcome
and
to
trade
fair
deals,
Bretonnia.
yeah? No. Okay, we can wait for a bit until relations have improved. So now that we have non-aggressions with everyone, we're going to be improving our relations with everyone. Plus we'll get the plus 100 relations bonus once we complete their heraldry. So we're definitely on the path to confederation here. We could also try and start some relations with
Greetings. All you survey are loyal to me, so I advise caution with your next words.
We'll make friends with them. Oh, you're not gonna let me through your lands. Interesting. Anyone else I can trade with? I could theoretically trade with Musalon. I don't think that would go down very well with the other Bretonnian lords, so we're not going to do that. Oh, and we have an enchantment.
What
I
would
should have
you
attached
have
it to
of
my
me?
army. Shit. I'd totally forgotten you were even a thing. That's irritating. Alright, we're going to run you
My
forwards.
steps are
Because we
guided.
could have got you some free experience. Sorry, Fwats. What is my biggest complaint to the game? That's a good question. What is my biggest complaint? I'm sure I really have one. It could make some mechanics a little bit clearer, like raiding mechanics, which is vital for the Norsca. It's just not very clear where you make money or why when you're raiding stuff. I'd also like diplomacy to be a little more nuanced than it is. They really need to just copy and paste EU4s. Can you have multiple armies? Yes, you can. This is just one. You can hire additional lords, and I was actually going to have a look at what lords are available. So these are all the different ones. So we have prophetesses, which are the magic casting lords, rather than enchantresses, which are just heroes and magic users. We have Jacques Le Gardien, who is a virtue of the Imperious Knight, which gives him additional speed and additional chivalry. Virtue of Stoicism, which is additional leadership and additional chivalry. And do they start with